In this demonstration, we will demonstrate and show you how the process of quote to cash works inside of Business Central. One of the simple ways in which we see the blending of productivity tools and business processes of Business Central is through Microsoft Outlook. Business Central extends Microsoft Outlook to include access to financial information and also enable users to easily interact with customers and vendors. In this scenario, we'll start out by entering a sales quote. We'll send that quote via email to the prospect or customer, convert to an invoice, we'll post the invoice, and then convert that to cash. Let's begin by entering in a sales quote. Now imagine the scenario, I get a request from a customer for a quote, and the customer wants pricing information for 2 items, this chair and these tables. Now typically, in a traditional process, you'd have to minimize Outlook, open up Business Central or your other accounting application, log in, and then go find the customer, right? There are several mouse clicks it takes to perform this job. Now with the integrated experience here inside of Outlook, all I need to do is select on Business Central. Now before creating a document or a transaction, it's helpful to provide users with the information they need to understand what's happening within that customer or vendor so we can drill into the balance details. And again, I have a live view of what's going on within this customer. And I could see again the previous orders, previous invoices, and I could also look at again some of the existing sales quotes. We'll click on New, and notice because this is connected to Business Central, I get a key message that's shared across the platform that this customer has an overdue balance. So I may have to either rethink the actions or I might have to talk to the customer before we go ahead and move forward. Great communication here, just again letting the customer or the sales rep or whoever's doing the data entry know. I'll select the line items, and immediately you'll notice that the add-in recognizes the body of the email and is providing an auto suggestion for the line items. Notice on the right-hand side, the Business Central sees that Outlook body says I have 7 chairs and 2 tables. We'll go ahead and add those, select OK, and the app is intelligent to recognize and place the item and description into the appropriate columns. Now from here, because they did include an attachment in the email, that attachment is a document that contains the images of the items just to ensure the accuracy of the order. So we can attach that from the email, and now that document will follow through. Now just to show you how this is happening behind the scenes, I'm going to go ahead and minimize Outlook. And if we go ahead and open up our sales quote, the real-time seamless integration in Business Central shows you the 7 chairs, the 2 tables, and also the attachment that was included from Outlook. That's how we begin the process. Now I want to go ahead and send this quote via email to the customer just to get confirmation. I'm in Outlook using the ellipsis. I'll send by email. I want to review the sales quote before we send it to the customer. This looks accurate and correct. Now let's assume the customer confirms either by voice, by phone call, or by an email, and then we'll go ahead and convert that order to an invoice. From the same view inside of Outlook, I'll use the ellipsis, and I'm going to convert that sales quote to an invoice. Now I have this invoice that ends in 222. Minimize Outlook, and just as I did within the sales quote, I'll show you in the invoices, there is the invoice that we created inside of Outlook. Next, we'll post the invoice. Once again, I'm returning to Outlook, and my option now as a sales invoice is to post. And now that has been posted, I can back out of the invoice and notice the customer has an increased balance or an outstanding balance based on the new order that we just placed. The final step is to convert the cash. The customer has paid us for that invoice. Under cash management, cash receipts, the general batch journal, I will enter this amount for that customer, determine which sales document is applied to the cash receipt. I'll choose this document, select OK, and then notice the journal check has been cleared from any errors on the right side. From here, I'll close the window, and that concludes the process of quote to cash. So you saw from Outlook, we were able to enter in a sales quote from an email. It originated from an email from a customer with an attachment. We sent that via email back to the customer for confirmation and approval, and then converted this to an invoice, posted the invoice, and converted the cash. Again, the benefits are very, very clear and obvious. We reduced the amount of time it's spent in data entry. We reduced the errors or the potential errors, and I'm able to quickly respond to the customer requests as they were coming into my inbox.